Take me to Boston University!
That's what I said to the cab driver at Logan Airport in January in 1994, just a few years later.
I was supposed to start school in the fall like a normal student, but my high school guidance counselor had never sent in my paperwork. He was a dream crusher by trade and inclination. So when my acceptance finally came through, I was in a rush. It was at the last minute. But I had something important I had to do first. I had to stop off and see Jamie on my way out of town. She was beautiful, with her raven page boy hair, her porcelain skin, and her almond eyes that always looked on me so softly. She had lost a lot of weight in a little bit of time. She let me in on the secret of her success. Bulimia! I got it. I had tried too, but I never had her level of success.
You see, I just played around with it. She made it a lifestyle. I could eat peanut butter and Ovaltine faster than I could puke them back up again.
When I was 16 years old and got a car, we used to go on what we call bulimia runs. You see, at that time, they sold poison control kits in drugstores. And in those poison control kits, you could buy syrup of ipecac. And that was a magic elixir. You take one little sip of syrup of ipecac and you'd heave up everything you ever even dreamed about eating. We'd make the rounds in all the drugstores and shoplift our pockets full. Then riding around aimlessly, listening to The Cure, Depeche Mode, Thompson Twins. That seemed to be all we did. Jamie's just 15 years old and she couldn't drive, but out on one lonely county road one night I let her get behind the wheel. We come up to a stop sign, there's a pickup truck coming, and Jamie panicked and she hit the gas instead of the brake and we got smashed. The car looked like a surfboard after a shark takes a bite. I oozed out of that car, limped over to the other driver, and I represented to him all about as to how Jamie didn't exactly have what you might call license or car insurance. So, if we all wanted to go home happy, we'd all just say that I was driving. Well, the other driver went along with that plan, and we limped home in that totaled car. We never told anyone at all what happened that night. Just like I never told Jamie that I loved her back then.
I didn't know I'd never get another chance.
We had drifted apart toward the end of high school, but on my way out of Oklahoma City, she was all I could think about. I went and got myself some genuine parchment paper and a fountain pen. I copied out one of Cyrano's long speeches to Roxanne, zoomed over to Jamie's house, folded it up, crammed it in her hand, and zoomed away. See, I had more important things to do.
Like telling that cab driver,
"Take me to Boston University!" He said, "Well, BU is a big place, sir. Where exactly do you need to go?" I didn't know. All I knew is I was there to study philosophy and ancient Greek. What I didn't know was where I was supposed to sleep that night. But I had an address. Housing Department, 985 Commonwealth Avenue. Let's go there. I was sure the nice housing lady would help me out. I got to her office about 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. She said, "Okay, sir, let me look up your record." "Sir, I don't see any record of your housing application." "My what? Housing application? There's a look that middle-aged black women in Boston have for 19-year-old white boys from Oklahoma who show up in their office at 4 o'clock on a frigid Friday afternoon in January with no place to live. She gave me that look. Then she pulled up her glasses on her chain and got to work. "Sir, this is a real problem. All my freshman dorms are full. I have one room. It's in a specialty dorm. Smallest dorm on campus, 12 students. The Russian house. Are you Russian, sir?" Am I Russian? I'm from Oklahoma, raised by a vet. The Cold War was barely over. No, I'm not Russian. I'm not a Klingon either. Do you speak Russian, sir? Are you studying Russian? No, I'm not studying Russian. What's wrong with her? Sir, this is the only room I have on campus. Rooms in the Russian house are reserved for Russians, those studying Russian, or those interested in Russian culture. Are you interested in Russian culture, sir? I got it. Yes, I am interested in Russian culture. Da! Rocky IV was my favorite. Good. You're all set. Here's your keys. Your roommate is Boris. Boris. My roommate's name is Boris? Now, I would know to say, Oi, Belyat!
But Boris hadn't had a chance to teach me Russian cursing yet. But I did make it to 178 Bay State Road, and I was ready. I was going to immerse myself in the unchristian world of ancient Greece.
No Christ, no church, no salvation, no Tony, no problem. As soon as I got my first textbook in ancient Greek and saw it had a green cover on it, I knew I was at home. Looked just like that Strong's Concordance my folks used to study. Meninayeretea, Peleado Aquileos, Ulamanene Muri Kaio Algeteka, A 3 days se Wanaxandro, Dolacanta Laue. Now, that just sounded like speaking in tongues to me, really, but that's a medley of lines from the beginning of Homer's Iliad. I remember the first Greek we translated. Nophi se auton, know thyself. Penton metron anthropos. Mankind is but a shadow's dream. That's from Euripides. That's good stuff. Skios and anthropos. Mankind is the measure of all things. Oh, that's what they would have called secular humanism back in the 80s. Hoanax hotamentian est in delpois utalege uta crypte ala semaine. The God whose oracle is in Delphi neither speaks nor hides, but gives you a sign. I learned that the Furies were screaming demon messengers of the gods sent to torment those that needed tormenting. And I read that before a great battle on the plain of Marathon, the goddess Athena appeared before the Greek soldiers in a mass religious vision.
And I wondered, was that the same kind of thing that I had seen in my little church 2,500 years later? I reckoned it was.
I learned the question that Socrates never stopped asking. Tiesti, what is it? What is truth? What is beauty? What are the gods? What is man? But I never asked, who am I? And in the middle of all that, my teacher read us a Bible verse. John 11:35, 2 words, shortest verse in the Bible. Jesus wept. He said that is all you really need to know about the difference between philosophy and theology. Jesus wept once and never laughed. Socrates laughed twice and never wept. Religious belief supplies answers and leads to weeping. Philosophy asks questions and leads to laughter. Philosophy and theology. Socrates and Solomon. Athens and Jerusalem. Well, I never wept.
I never wept at all. I never wept when Daddy called me one day and told me that Jamie was dead. Murdered. Shot by a jealous ex-boyfriend who climbed through a window and killed her while she lay sleeping. Looking peaceful, perhaps. Much the way she looked in her casket in the little room when I saw her when I went home to be the pallbearer at her funeral a few days later. A raven, page boy hair, porcelain skin, whispered in my ear. She said, Jamie told me all about that car, she said. Jamie loved you so much. That casket was so heavy. Jamie was too heavy for me. I put her body in the ground. But Jamie, I just stuffed her down inside that jar of an